everybody. Thank you for joining the RaulyKnows podcast. Today we have
Fredo,
and tell us a little bit of what you do.
So I actually am doing concrete and landscape right now, and a little bit of soccer training, but that's what my main focus is right now: concrete and landscape.
Okay, and that's for is it your own company, or how is it like? Is it like a collective?
Eventually in the future, I do want to be a collective because it's an incorporation.
Right.
Because I want to kind of branch out and do a lot of stuff, all using the same brand, the Big Perros brand.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's just my pops and I and a couple guys.
You're running the business a little bit.
Yeah, it's, to be honest, they're doing all the heavy lifting. I'm just getting all the negotiating and orchestrating, getting everything together because I have a voice and my father doesn't. But like I said, all the heavy lifting, he's doing it with the other guys.
So believe me when I tell you, I know what you're talking about because growing up, my father does he doesn't do landscaping, but he does tile and like granite and all that other stuff. So he never had that voice. He always had to go through somebody else, but he was doing all the work and all the other stuff. So I kind of see what you mean. Like you have the voice, like you could get the people booked up, you could get the work. Como se dice? You could get the things, aligned so the business could get like on the side. You know what I mean? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So basically, what my main focus is just bringing in prospects and bringing in the people, and a lot of it is through the ads. I'm not sure if you've seen a couple of the ads that I've run.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen the
ads. That's another part of the incorporation that I try to do is I try to not spend any single money on advertising. I do private advertising, so I basically have other people give me money to advertise, and I just cut bread with them so that for every job that their ad brings in, I cut bread with them on that. So
okay, that actually sounds, so it's kind of like I don't want to put words into it, but like it seems like a more advanced referral system.
In a way, exactly. And referrals is what gets the world go around, especially in business. You need to have a good referral system, and I think that was it. Just getting people to bringing you those people and having them get a little piece of the pie without them really doing much.
You definitely got to take care of your people, man. Because once you take care of the people, they'll come back and they'll help you out. Yeah. If anything, if they feel like you take care of them, that's why it's very important for like places, especially now, because like casinos is a big. I mean, Las Vegas is a big casino town, and basically like there's a lot of animosity towards companies that didn't really take care of their people while the whole pandemic was going on. So when I say like, I'm pretty sure you agree, take care of your people, they'll take care of you.
Take care of you, yeah. And that's a concept that most major companies adapt to. Like I give you an example, In-N-Out.
Oh yeah,
man, In-N-Out takes care of their people.
Yeah, definitely. I used to work at In-N-Out.
Yeah, I know. 88.
Yeah,
shout out 88.
so
shout out 88
for sure. It was a very dope place to work at, man. I couldn't complain much about anything unless it was like my fault, But for a first place to work at, it was actually a really fun place to work at, and they took care of me for sure.
It was structure. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
it was the structure that they had. Of course, you go in there and you earn your minimum, your basic pay, but the more you learn, the more you get rewarded. But to me, it's all about how you treat your people, because like you said, you take care of them and they'll take care of you. And in reality, the truth is that you need people.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the reality. You need people. And to me, in order to be successful in this world, you need the assistance of others.
Wow.
Because you cannot do everything by yourself.
That's very true. Because, you might not be able to do something, but someone else can. But at the same time, if they're helping you, two collectives coming together.
Two heads being better than one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but speaking of like a first job, what was your first job?
I was retail sales at Calvin Klein.
How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I feel like with all the jobs that I've had, everything brought me to this point.
You learned something along the way.
Yeah. People are so caught up with getting out of the rat race that they go crazy without knowing what they're gonna do. Okay,
that's a good way to put it.
But in reality, I honestly believe that the chance and the opportunity comes to you naturally. We all have a gift. We all have the gift of getting things done, but we just need to find out what that gift is and how we're going to project that out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you said that because, it's going to air later, but I could say it now. but like you said, it comes to you.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day, I don't want to make this too much about me. I just want to kind of like refer to that point that you just made. The other day, one of my chefs, because that's what I do. I cook.
I'm glad you're still cooking. Yeah, I'm glad you're still cooking.
So one of my chefs that was really my mentor, he was the president and executive chef of the restaurant group that I worked at. He eventually branched off and did his own thing. Called me the other day, and right now he has a really big opportunity with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what I'm going to be doing pretty soon. Tomorrow I go in over there at the headquarters and I check it out. But for the most part, like you said, if you work hard and stuff, the opportunities come to you.
Yeah. And, you know, whether it's a spiritual dawn or if it's, you know, something that's already predestined, it happens, you know. And I guess that's kind of the message that I want to project, that is that your chances, your time is going to come.
Yeah, definitely, especially if you work hard, man, because, like, you could work hard and you see, like, you're not going anywhere, and then you start getting a little bit, like, discouraged. But as long as you know, continue your the consistency of your work and echándole ganas.
Yeah.
Like, people, even if you don't advance to where you're at, people are gonna see that you're a great worker or whatever field you're in, and then they're gonna do the calling. They're like, hey, come work for me, or I got an opportunity for you.
Yeah, it's like that, and you know, like, luckily, we live in a city with opportunity. You know, we have a mixture of cultures, and we have a mixture of, you know, just people who are here to do things. You know, here in Las Vegas, it's a great opportunity to get into construction, great opportunity to get into real estate, great opportunity to basically do anything that you want, because, you know, there's opportunities out here, and the opportunity to make money is pretty much endless. Like, you can make money doing a billion ways.
Yeah.
Like, a billion ways you can make money.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I kind of messed up on one of my podcasts a while ago. I had my buddy come in. We're probably going to end up doing it again, but his way of hustling, I don't want to put too much because it's going to be on a podcast. I don't want to take too much out of it. But I kind of, like, told him not to share his secret of how he makes his stuff.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, he kind of, like, and I don't want to say too much either, but at the end of the day, he was like, well, at the end of the day, you still got to wake up before me. You still got to put in the work. So, like, you still, like, there's many different ways of making revenue. You just got to find it. And then, like, even if you think a lot of people are doing it, they still got to outwork you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, no, this is a very, like, at least in the industry that I am in, you know, it's a very competitive field, especially going up against the big perros, you know, like corporations and companies who are doing massive pours. But, you know, as long as I try to go out there every single day, and, you know, I don't worry about that. I don't wake up like, what's my competition doing today?
Right.
You know, I can only do X amount of things in a day or in a week. You know, I try not to stress myself out or those around me, but, you know, every single day you do have to wake up with that different mentality of, today I'm going to do something.
Right.
You know, even if it's a small scale event, you know, like, you know, at least in my example, just getting a number and just a small idea that someone wants work in their house. You know, it's up for me to go and grab it. You know, give that customer a call and, you know, basically work that. You know, bug them like, hey, you know, I'm here to do this for you, or, you know, just offer your assistance or offer that you're there to do a nice job or a nice service. And yeah, man, definitely, I definitely would say that when you wake up every single day and you have a plan, or you kind of have an idea of how your day is going to go, it unfolds.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm glad you said that. So can you, like, how did you start with that mentality? Where do you adopt it?
Man, I'll be honest with you. You know, I've only been doing this since January.
Okay.
As far as, like, construction, like, I have already 2 years of experience doing it, but just recently this year, this is when I branched off and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it. You know, it's time. But this mentality, I would say I'd had it all along, but it was just procrastination, man.
Yeah, it kills you.
It kills you. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, like, to those who know me, you know, like, I'm a lazy person. That's just the reality of it, you know, like, there was times where, like, I would rather prefer to be in bed than to be out getting money, you know. And I think about that and I'm just like, wow, like, here's X amount of time just wasted. But you can't see it that way. because I am here today, sitting here with you, because everything that happened, that had to happen for me to be in this moment.
Right.
You know, and you know, even if I'm talking about like the experience that I had, you know, like you asked me what my first job was, and that was retail, selling clothes, you know. But you know, later on in life, I ended up having different type of positions. Like I was a manager at 18.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the call center world.
Yeah.
Shout out to the call center.
It's a whole different animal over there, huh?
Oh man, if you're working at a call center.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Why do you say that?
It's just okay. You ever called on a call center?
Yeah.
What do you think that when you say like, oh, like then when they tell you, let me place you on a brief hold, what do you think goes on? Like, do you think?
I for the most part, I kind of understand that there's everything that they say is kind of scripted. So if they don't know at that moment what they need to do, they probably like put you on a little brief hold to see
research get their answer. Yeah, definitely. It's they do that, but you know, once you're already an experienced agent, you
run into a lot of the problems already, so you know how to handle them.
Yeah. But like what I'm saying is like when you call someone and they're like, oh, you know, you think that they're taking care of you, but they're in the back chilling, cooking, you know, doing their thing. But yeah, no, the call center experience was very good to me because it opened up the world to like professionalism. Because, you know, I had to deal with directors of certain areas of departments, with vice presidents, you know. I'm not sure if you were ever familiar with the AT&T Digital Life program.
No, I wasn't. It's but like I heard Digital Life before.
Yeah, it's a security system. So what I did there was I managed their call center support group. So I was 18, man. 18, fresh out of high school. You know, I had a management position, and we're talking about a position that people who've been in the industry for like 15 years had never seen.
Right.
So I was only there with a year of experience, but that mentality of mine where, you know, I went in there like, hey, I see an opportunity here. I'm gonna take advantage, and I'm gonna, you know, write it out and do what I have to do, and it worked out, man. You know, I was blessed to have great leaders around me that mentored me and kind of molded me into that position.
Yeah.
But I did that for a solid year, bro, and I'll be honest with you, it taught me a lot about people.
Okay. Yeah, and at the end of the day, if you know a lot about people, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
If you know a lot about people, then you kind of know how to like work with them.
Yeah. It sounds scary, bro, but it taught me how to manipulate people.
Yeah.
You know, and there's the manipulator and then the person who gets manipulated. There's two classes of people, and you know, you can use manipulation to your advantage sometimes. You know, it doesn't have to always be so negative, but you learn skills like that, bro, like how to be a coach, how to be a leader, you know. And that's what I guess kind of what my mission is right now, is how to show somebody else how to be a leader, because we need leaders.
Definitely, we need leaders as well as followers, but you know, most people don't get to that position where like they're I don't think I want the responsibility of being a leader. And I mean, that's what kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of like separates differentiates the people. You know what I mean? Yeah, growing up, man, like my father did the tile and all this other stuff, and he would take me to work all the time, and I'm like, man, I fucking hate this shit, bro. Like I hated it, bro. Like, why am I gonna use this? When am I gonna why am I gonna need to know how to unclog a toilet? Why am I gonna need to do all this other shit? Like,
how old were you when you?
I was very young, man. I was like 12, 11, like holding the light, right? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't really do much, but just seeing everything, and I'm more appreciative about it now. I appreciate it way more now because like the other day my girl's like her sink just like clogged, and I'm like, oh, I know what to do, and I did it. So
nice.
So like my father molded me with the skills of knowing how to do like common housework and like take care of myself basically, because it saves you money as well, because like if I would have paid somebody to come, like you have to pay for the time, their knowledge, all that other stuff, and just being taught that for free basically, like just spending time with my father, my OG. I'm very grateful for that, and I feel like how did you get it? You said you got into construction because your father has a business?
No. So it was like a couple years, like it was a year and a half or 2 years ago that I had lost my job. I was working at a call center, and I was just going through a time where I was just like in a dark spot, in a dark place, you know. it happens with everybody. You go through those stages, and I lost my job, and it was like kind of like actually I was doing Cox. I was working for Cox. I was doing cable, and it didn't work out. I didn't think I was getting paid what I deserved. So I was like, fuck it, like I can't do this no more. And then my dad came and he's like, hey, like I have a job for you. If you want to come, you can come work with me. And, you're going to get paid X amount of dollars. You're going to have your full hours, and at the time it seemed great, So I did that, and that was January of 2019. 2019 that I started working with him. And like you said, it was one of those things where like I hated it, man. It was just I didn't see the purpose of me having to carry or to push around a 300-pound wheelbarrow of like dirt, and the job to me was just like it felt useless. I didn't see the big picture,
right.
And then once I started getting more involved, I started seeing that there was money. And it wasn't actually until, man, I'm never gonna forget this day. It was one day that they sent me. It was just a random day they sent me to go pick up some paperwork from the office, and the paperwork, like the first sheet that was in my hand was like the invoice of the total cost of the job. So they allowed me to see that, and I saw the number, bro. And honestly, like I saw how much we struggled that week. I remember to complete that job, it was such a hectic job, and it was such a like so much stress on him because he's a foreman. So basically, everything that company gets, he does. So he's their breadwinner. Without him, like I could say that they'd have to go out and get somebody else. And
right.
I'm not saying he's irreplaceable, but he's a value to them because if not, they'd be in a shithole. But yeah, and I saw the X amount of dollars that was there, and I was just like, damn.
You liked what you saw, or?
Well, I mean, yeah, like it was a big quantity. It was like $20,000, and like I'm sitting there like this guy, the owner of the company, like this guy just cashed in $20K, and I'm in here like doing all the work for him. I'm here pulling this wheelbarrow, and like the dude who owns that company, such a dick, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, like you. As a employee that I am right now to that guy, because I'm still working with him, during the day, and then after I'll do my own stuff.
We'll make sure we don't tag him on this.
Yeah, right. Nah, he could see it. I don't care. But like you as a business owner or as a leader, CEO of your company, it's even a simple hi or a simple recognition to like your bottom of the food chain employee would mean the world, bro. Like if you're the CEO and you come and you give me your time, you shake my hand, oh man, I'm gonna blush and I'm gonna be like, dude, Raul just said what's up to me.
Yeah.
Like, the CEO just came and said what's up. That's gonna hype me up.
Yeah.
That's gonna excite me. That's gonna make me want to come to work because the CEO is there.
And it makes you feel like important to the cause. And
this guy, like, we're working, and he sees me sweating, he sees me doing my work, and not a single hi. To this day, he has never introduced himself to me.
For real? And you work for him?
And I work for him, and he comes and he talks to my father, bro. Like it's like if you're my dad and I'm next to you, and he'll come and he'll like chop it up with him.
And then he won't say nothing to you.
He won't say nothing to me, and I'm not just me personally, but like to the rest of his workforce. And the guy has like 80 people working for him.
Wow. You know what? To that, I say this. I'm pretty sure that taught you a lesson.
Yeah.
How you treat, like you said, treat your employees.
Treat your employees right, and I make it a big importance that I'm present. Like when we have job site, like when we have jobs, I could simply just get the job, send them the address, and say good luck.
Yeah.
To my father and to the rest of the employees that I have, and like just basically leave them to fend for themselves. But that's not me. Yeah. You get me? I'm in there pulling that wool, bro. I'm in there working with the cement. I'm in there, shoveling, doing something, present. And one thing that I make like of importance with all my negotiations, I try to make sure that my clients buy us food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like lunch has to be provided in all my jobs because I gotta take care of us, Yeah,
and, definitely, bro. Everybody eats.
Everybody eats. Yeah, everybody eats, man. So you're getting a contract with Big Perros, I'm definitely hit you with that fee, that lunch fee.
Definitely, man. I mean, there's different ways. Like you could sit back and see the way that you like handle business, and just by doing it differently, that like you could probably get a different outcome out of it when it comes to keeping your employees with high morale. And just by doing that little thing, man, they don't gotta worry about bringing lunch. Like,
yeah,
it's
they don't. And one of them, some Nicaraguan guy that I have for me, super humble, bro. Like, I'm talking about this massive, like 6'4" giant guy. You know, every time that we do have a job, he always like comes by and he's like, hey man, thank you for the food. You know, and, like to hear those words is just like, wow, like that's you being sincere to me, and you know, you actually thanking someone. You know, I to me
humbling.
that fills me. Yeah, that fills me, bro, and that's what makes this part like really worth it.
Right.
Is the changing the people's perception of what they're doing.
Yeah, like you said, like maybe that's the positive manipulation. Like you gotta like if somebody if a boss or like somebody that's in a higher position as you, that you're his subordinate, they could tell you a certain way how to do things, but just the way they say it is what's going to make the difference. So let's say someone yells at you, hey, well, like, you know, he's yelling at you, like, hey, fucking make that shit. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, you probably did something wrong, and they're correcting you. Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's not how the way we do it. Whereas you can come at it at a different angle where, like, you're like, hey, I know, this is not the way we do it, but I want you to, you know, head up. It's okay. Like, just work through it, and we'll get you help if you need it. Just, you know, just getting that positive reinforcement, I feel like changes everything. Like, when it comes to, like, keeping your employees, you know, like, respecting you, which is a big part, and keeping them actually not loving what they do, but just, like, having the respect of the job that they're doing. Yeah,
and the engagement, you know, like, let's say, for example, you can honestly have, like, a good set of employees in your circle, and, you know, all you need is one. All you need is one to change, and for them to see, like, yo, like, my boss is really taking care of me. I'm going to take care of him, and I'm going to give him 100% of what I got to do. Because I've been in that situation before, you know, like I said, you know, when I was into the management, I saw that the people that were above me were helping me, and I saw that they would come and they'd sit down with me and be like, hey, you know, like, you're doing good. This is where you are right now, but this is where you need to be.
Right.
It was always a positive coaching feedback experience. It was, yeah, of course, you know, we're human. We make mistakes, but it was never pay attention to the bad stuff. It was more always focus on the good stuff. Focus on when you do good, and from there stem off. And, you know, that's a system that I've always kind of doctrined, is if, you know, your people are doing good, feed them that. Let them know that they're doing a good job. And
that does work, man. It really does.
It makes a difference. And, you know, like, I wish a lot of people, I know there's still a lot of business owners out there that doesn't click with them, bro. Like, just because you're a business owner, like, you know, doesn't mean that you know, a lot of them treat their people good. Right. You know, there's still those bosses who are dicks, you know, and like, people really wake up every single day and they're like, damn, I hate my boss. Yeah. I would hate for someone to do that, bro, for them to, like, wake up every single morning and be like, damn, I fucking hate Alfredo. Like, Alfredo makes my life miserable. And, you know, like, I always try to put myself in their shoes, and I always try to put myself in, you know, like, what they deserve. And honestly, man, like, the people who are doing the things for me, like, oh man, they're loving it. They're having a great time because they're finally seeing their value. They're finally seeing that someone's, you know, not coming in here. Like, I can't go into that industry and take all the cheddar. Because se agüita, no? Yeah, definitely. But, you know, like, these are people with experience. These are people who've been doing this for a long time, you know, and like I said, they finally have someone who's actually matching what they need to be. You know, the foremans that are working for me, they're making like $50 an hour, bro. Good for them, bro. Crazy, right? I'm just like, very good. And, you know, those are, and like you said, like, you call them, they're like, yeah, you know what, I'm down. You take care of me. I'm pulling up. Yeah. And like I said, man, Big Perros is definitely the people. Yep. The people, because, you know, I can only do X amount of things, and without them, I'm really nothing, you know? Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, how do you feel about, like, this statement, man? There's statements where, like, people do a certain way and they call it ghetto, or like they frown upon it. But then if another person, okay, so for the example, it would be like, you know, like you know, Mexicans, they do certain types of things that's considered ghetto, but it's really like kind of like recycling, doing this type of thing. Okay. But then say white people do the same thing and they call it, like, you know, like being resourceful. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think it's just the cultural appropriation, bro, that we're in, you know, that we get to define it as ghetto and everything. But cada cosa tiene su maña, bro.
Right.
Everything has its place. Everything has its, own way of being done, and as far as that, like, I think there's a million ways to do certain things.
Right. There's the reason why I brought that, because I kind of wanted to bring up this, because I do stand up.
Okay.
So one of my jokes was that, have you heard of Coachella?
Yeah.
So there's Coachella Valley. It's like a big agriculture. They do a lot of produce and stuff like out there.
That's in Indio, California.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
correct. So but what they're mostly known for is the Coachella Festival, like the music festival.
Yeah.
And I remember I took my girl out, and I was over here trying to find pictures, like places to take pictures of her, because she had like a really cool outfit, and I was trying to get pictures. So we stumble upon like a strawberry picking field, and then I'm like, what the hell is this line? Like, I don't get it. Why is there a big ass line for the strawberry? Like, you guys buying strawberries? And they're like, yeah, but like, you basically pay and then you pick your own shit. So I'm like, okay, let me get this straight. Like, you're paying to pick strawberries? Like, they don't pay you to pick strawberries?
Oh, okay.
So that was the joke. So like, I was like, how like certain people, I don't want to out white people, because it's maybe it's just like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But, it's funny how they pay to pick them, but they pay us.
Oh, okay. I see what
So
you're saying.
you know what I'm saying? So that was the joke.
Saying.
That was the joke.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
To
each his own, right?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, to each its own, man. Yeah, I really got much to say on that.
Okay. But yeah, man, when it comes to like working and stuff, what do you read anything, or like who do you look up to, or
man, I wish I could tell you that I read books.
Yep.
And I wish I could tell you that I watched motivational videos. But if I tell you this, I hope you believe me, but it all stems from within, bro.
For real?
It's kind of like I'm going to tell you that it's more like a blessing to have this dawn of waking up and wanting to do better, because a lot of people need for someone else to tell them, you need to do this. You ever heard those motivation videos where like, you need to get out and do this.
Yeah,
you need to get out. A lot of people need that, bro.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why you need someone to tell you to get up every single morning and go get it.
Yeah.
It should be already with, indoctrinated in what you do, but it's more so a mentality, bro. And it's contagious. I try to be like this around my friends, and those who are around me see the changes. They even today, I had a soccer game and I was motivated, bro, because we got a new uniform. So
okay.
we were trying to
stunt a little bit.
Stunt a little bit, and we had just recently became champions, so we're trying to defend that title, right. And today I was motivated, and like one of my buddies, he's like, hey man, like, thank you, like you got me pumped up, like let's get it. We fortunately we ended up taking the loss, but hey, we learned from that.
Yeah, definitely.
We learned from that.
When life gives you a loss, you learn from it, and if you don't learn from it, it was
yeah,
it's not worth it.
Not worth it. Yeah, but life is always gonna teach you something, and like I said, I'm glad that all my life kind of like rolled out and played out to be in this moment, because I finally now have a clear image of what it is that I want and what it is that I want to do, and it comes, man. Like, it will. If that image still hasn't came to you, it's gonna come one day. Whether you sell cake, whether you do tile, whether you sell houses, whether you do construction, whether you make your own clothes, it's gonna come to you one day, and the opportunity it's gonna come knocking at your door, and you just gotta be able to answer it.
Yeah, thank you so much, man, and thank you so much for joining the podcast. Today is we have RaulyKnows podcast featuring Fredo, the Big Perro CEO, the Alpha.
The Big Perro.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And is there anything that you want to share with the listeners before we cut it out?
Just an overall message to be the Big Perro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big dog.
Be the big dog, and that's what I came in here today to just project that mentality out. And you ever heard of that phrase that there's someone always bigger than you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there is always someone bigger. There's always going to be the bigger perro, but as long as you worry about you being the big perro, that's all that matters.
Definitely, man. Thank you so much for their knowledge. Thank you much for chopping it up with us, joining us today at the RaulyKnows podcast. We out. Thank you so much for joining us, bro.
Thank you, bro.